We'll talk about the $1 million feeling now. So
No, speaking with you, it sounds like it has nothing really to do with the feeling of actually having $1 million in hand, because
no,
it's
it's it's an illustration. You're right. It's just like if you had $1 million given to you, how would you feel at the moment? You would probably feel, oh my gosh, this is great. Now, it's really not about the $1 million though.
right. And what exactly is that? How do people harness that feeling without actually having it?
Um, if you want access to $1 million feeling, one needs to, and I say needs, I very much focus on the fact that they want the $1 million feeling, but there is some work that needs to happen. And it goes back to this discussion I had before, is that everybody is their own leader. Everybody is a leader, but the first person we need to learn to lead is ourselves. And there is there are a few more properties, but they're like the first four properties I work with everybody in their journey to give them something like $1 million feeling, is to start to figure out where are they in the category of evaluating trust, truth, power, and love in their lives. So for a lot of people, and you see this a lot in societies, they don't have a high level of trust. That's why personally I didn't get a coach until many iterations after hearing about wise person learning from the mistakes of others, because I didn't trust anybody to hear my deepest, darkest secrets and failures, and which is, you kind of need to be honest with somebody who's a coach,
Right.
to get them to be a proper guide for you. The other part about not trusting anybody is this: there are energies out there, and I certainly exhibited some of this, where I didn't want to be seen as weak or unknowing. That was part of my survivals. I knew everything and I was very strong, capable.
Right.
So that's another reason why people don't necessarily get coaches or therapists or whatever the case may be. They don't want to be seen as weak or unknowing. So between those two things, like not wanting to be seen weak or unknowing and not trusting anybody to share stuff, you don't necessarily get an opportunity to do the work. However, once you open yourself up to that and you get to find out that, and I just use trust as an example, but a lot of people who don't have trust don't have good relationships. I can tell you that was my story. I had a 24-year marriage, but we didn't trust each other through the whole marriage. And it didn't stop us from having a 24-year marriage, but it certainly stopped us from having a powerful marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're not married at this point, but we've both grown in very powerful ways since. But the idea here behind the finding, the $1 million feeling, is becoming balanced in true love, not conditional love. Having a sense of personal power that allows you to be vulnerable, living with a sense of truth, which means you're not letting the stories that don't belong to you influence your lives anymore. And also having a sense of trust. Because if I can't trust you, Fong, then I really don't trust myself. And if I don't trust myself, I really am not going to trust you. So, and that, by the way, suddenly you see, oh, if I trust myself so I can trust you, that means I have power too. So you start to see those four things all interconnect. So when you get somebody who can guide you to that place where you have healthy levels of personal power and trust and truth and proper perspective on love, that's when you have $1 million feeling.
So if you had to use a rollerblade as a metaphor for success, how is success like rollerblade?
When you fall down, you only get better when you get back up.
Nicely done. So that's how success is like rollerblades.